Shalom. As we approach these days of awe, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Hoshana Rabbah, in a sense the most crucial period of the year, we are constantly should be searching for ways of endearing ourselves, of bringing ourselves closer to Hashem. There's a fantastic formula of how one can actually become close, how we can come close to Hashem, how we come close to people, how we come close to our members of our family. How do we create this connection, this close connection? Chazal give us a very interesting insight. Two of the greatest figures in Jewish history, say Chazal, were appointed based on very insignificant, trivial things. Moshe Rabbeinu, based on what did Hashem choose him to be the greatest leader that history has known and the most significant personality in our history? It says Moshe Rabbeinu was a shepherd, and while he was a shepherd, he was showing compassion even to his sheep. And it is brought down in the Midrash that a baby sheep got lost and it was away from the rest of the flock, and there it was bleating, and the loving, kind shepherd Moshe Rabbeinu went after him, and he finally tracked him down, picked up this little sheep since they were some distance from the flock, and carrying the sheep on his shoulders, Moshe Rabbeinu brought the sheep back. It is then, says the Midrash, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, Moshe Rabbeinu, if such a seemingly trivial matter you pay such attention to and you give such loving care to, you're the person to lead Am Yisrael. David HaMelech has a similar trial, also a trial showing compassion in relatively small things. So it is we see that the relatively small things are those things that really count. There's a famous pasuk, which is in a certain sense maybe the most central pasuk in the Torah. The pasuk says, Ma Hashem Elokecha shoel miyimach. What is it that God wants of us? Certainly a very central question. And the pasuk goes on to say, He wants of us to lishmor mitzvotav, chukotav, toratav. He wants us to observe the commandments, to maximize our connection with Him. Chazal have a fascinating insight into the word ma. Ma Hashem Elokecha. Chazal say, Al tikra ma ela mea. Don't call it ma, rather call it mea, 100. And Chazal say, what is this referring to? That we should say 100 blessings, 100 brachot every single day. In this manner, if a person thinks about it carefully, and throughout the day he says, and it's very easy to get to the sum of 100, a person prays 3 times a day, that's 18 times 3. A person makes a bracha certainly every time he eats. There's all sorts of brachot which are made in the Tfilat Shacharit, the Birkat HaShachar, the Birkat HaTorah. All of these brachot, these build up, and a person, his body has its bodily function, there's a bracha to be said, etc., etc. During the course of the day, a person easily gets into 100 brachot. And Chazal tell us that saying 100 brachot and focusing and thinking what we're saying is a sure way of connecting with Hashem. Because it is when there's a constant ongoing dealing with details, it's the details that create the connection. A person is totally and constantly engaged. There is another pasuk of similar ilk. The pasuk says, V'atem hadveikim b'Hashem Elokeichem chayim kulchem hayom. Who are those who are alive today? Those who are cleaved to Hashem. Dveikim. Chazal point out that there's some little kind of a sign on top of the letter of the dvekim, of the kuf. On the kuf in the Torah, there's some little illustration which passed down by tradition on the kuf. And again, Chazal tell us, this is atem advekim. You want to know how to get close to Hashem? You want to know how to cleave to Hashem? The kuf is the numerical value of 100. With kuf, with mea brachot, this is the way a person generates connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu.